And good afternoon, SNSN podcasts. Another one full in motion right now, and we've been doing so many with Zoom, and this is actually our second that we're doing with First Selectman Kevin Cunningham in the town of Plainfield.
Good afternoon.
Kevin, how are you, sir?
I'm good. How's everybody?
Well, we're okay over here.
Woohoo!
We're over here. So I do want to ask you something very, very serious, though, before we start, on to, our normal questions and things that we've, talked about. Did you kill Carol Baskin's husband?
I'm not at liberty to say. Mike, you know the answer to that.
It wasn't Joe Exotic, I'll tell you that right now.
I haven't seen a minute of that. Thank goodness.
It's a train wreck you can't stop watching, man. I'm telling you.
And I don't have television, so.
You don't have Netflix?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
You know what? I'll give you one of my screens because there's one TV show that we've been binge watching that is really good, and it's called Designated Survivor. It's got Kiefer Sutherland in it, and he plays the president, and it's. I'll tell you more about it another time, but it's really, it's a good binge watch. So, except I didn't realize season 1 was 22 episodes.
Whoa, that's a good long watch.
So, what's going on in Plainfield? What's going on other than COVID-19 and from what I understand, things are changing, and I'll let you talk.
Okay. Well, thank you. We're working our way towards trying to get back to meetings and proceeding in that fashion. We'll be doing some Zoom meetings. We are in the process of testing it out with a couple of the boards and commissions to make sure that they have access and they understand how to run it. The difficulty that I find so far with Zoom is you have to also have an administrator to help run it. So in other words, I'm going to be running the Board of Select meeting tonight. I'm going to be politely reminding people that it's going to be auto and video recorded. And while there is a chat function in Zoom, and people can put questions or comments or concerns in the chat area, that because I'm trying to run the meeting as a meeting and also trying to monitor what's going on in Zoom, for this first meeting or so, I'm going to be concentrating on just doing the business of the town and just the business of the town.
Tonight's a special meeting, right?
Correct. Normally, we would have had a meeting last Monday, and we do have one scheduled for next Monday, and I'm going to be working on the agenda for that. But tonight is the basic premise is to get back into the business of the town. A few items on there. One of the highlight would be we have a town roof, a highway roof that was bid out, and it came in higher than we anticipated. So we're going to be looking to first approve the bidder, and secondly, approve the overage to be paid by the Board of Finance through the general fund, and hopefully we can go forward with that. The other thing is important would be the review of our executive order 7S, which is suspension or modifications of tax deadlines and collections. And what that does for us, basically, it's 7S in conjunction with another one of the executive orders allows the towns to do one of three things, or one of four things. You can do nothing at all. You could defer payment of your taxes for 90 days. You could have a low interest loan to help pay your taxes, or a combination of those two, low interest loan and a deferment. So basically either that or nothing. So we'll go forward with
low interest loan, is that provided by the town or?
That's through the state of Connecticut. We'll process that with paperwork if we get to that needed area. The problems that I see with that one in particular would be, that means every single application that comes in, the town of Plainfield will have to review their applications to find out if they meet qualifications. And it's almost like a bank. You got to sit there and make sure that they're good. So that would be kind of difficult for the town to do. There's other ways around that. So I know which way I'm leaning about. We'll get there tonight, and we'll go for that. Then we'll also be discussing the overview and approval to publish the town of Plainfield's annual budget. While I may have it published already up onto the town website, it's just a suggested budget. And if there's modifications or questions or concerns, people want to talk about it, they can send me an email at kcunninghamselectman@plainfieldct.org, or you can call the town hall right here and I'll talk to you about it and jot my notes down to bring it to the next meeting. And that is, you can call the 860-230-3001 and talk to me directly about it. And we're taking the input from the public as suggested by the state when the state gave the authoritative boards or commissions, whoever's the leadership of the towns, give them the opportunity to actually pass a budget. As long as you have some input from your public, that's what they suggested to do. That's what we're going to be doing. For those people who want what do they call it? They call it a teaser. We got a 0 mil. So that's what I'm trying to do. So that this 0 mil also falls in alignment with our town charter. Our town charter says if there's a 0 mil, you don't even have to have you can have a public hearing, but you don't have to have a vote on it. No referendum. It goes automatically to the 0 mil. So I thought that would be appropriate for multiple reasons. One, the taxpayers out there right now, with or without jobs, would be finding difficulties in actually paying for those increases. So that wouldn't be appropriate.
Right.
And the second part of that is it falls in alignment with our town charter anyway. So we'll wait for the input to come back from the public. If there's something they like or don't like on that, we can talk about it and making adjustments. And we bring it back to the Board of Finance. On this Wednesday, I'll be in front of the Board of Finance, and I will have a PowerPoint presentation, department by department, to show them where the changes are. We're on our side of on the town side of it, we're actually not bad at all. We're saving a little bit of money. And so the minimal increases that I can see are coming from the Board of Education. It zeroes out. So it's gonna be a 0 mil increase at this point.
Do you have people or residents that will come out and say to you that possibly that you're not spending enough, like as far as the education budget is concerned?
You always have that. You always have someone who says, I'd like to have more earmarked towards certain parts of education or recreation, or they might want more in their support for police or highway. They always have an opportunity to say something. That's why the public hearing is important. That's why this portion of the process for this year is geared towards having public input into what's going on. So we don't mind that at all. We encourage the fact that people are interested in their government and what goes on in the town, and actually looking forward to some comments or concerns. Bear with me a second here. Can you guess what I'm doing all day? I answer phones. Yeah. So yeah, that's the issue we're going to put forward in front of the public on item number 6. Item number 7, talking about the Board of Education, and they have what is a new state statute. It allows them to do a rollover fund of up to 2%. It'll help them in their process for the budget. So that's up in front of the board as well. I think those are the highlights of our meeting tonight. We'll see how Zoom goes, because that's the most important part, making sure everybody can hear each other, be able to vote, use the little functions in Zoom that give you the, hey, I got a question, I'll raise my hand, as the little hand goes up over there. So it's something that we'll work on to work out the issues, and then of course on Wednesday the Board of Finance will meet and we'll go through all of that process. So those are the things that are happening. I'm still getting calls on a regular basis after the storm. Hey, I've got some water issues. What do you think we can do to push water in a different direction? I will at least go out there and look at them. There's branches that are down. Would you mind coming up and doing the trim ups? From the storms, absolutely no problem. So we've been working on all of those issues. What else we got going on? We got a couple of different, looking behind me here, because we had some siting council just met. We had a couple of companies that were interested in putting up some solar plants in town. And if they are approved, then we go forward with that to the next level, which could be revenue for next year. So it helps us out as well.
One of the things that we've had conversations in the past about something that maybe would benefit Plainfield is like a Parks and Rec director, or a full-time Parks and Rec director.
Yeah.
Is that something that ended up in the budget this year, or?
Yes, it did. So the differences that the public would see in the budget for this year, basically, if they took a look online, they can look at it right now, and they can see the changes that were there. Bear with me 1 second. What I'm going to do for you is,
You know, pull it right on up.
you got it. There we go. And I'm going to do a quick share screen with you for the budget. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We'll stop that share. Let's do another one. Nothing up my
That's
sleeve.
a different folder.
Yeah, nothing up my sleeve. That's the one we wanted. Okay, so I got to figure out how to share that one. Share that one. There we go. Can you see that?
I do now, yes.
Okay, good. So what goes on here is you'll see in 2021 that column right there shows you the revenue lines coming in from the state as suggested by the state of Connecticut, and we're going to hold them to it, of course. We show the local revenues and what we anticipate. We look at our final numbers, which is, you'll see that magic number, which should be right here, 0.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking to do, is to make it so that on both sides, between the town of Plainfield and the Board of Education, coming up to 0. Anybody can take a look at this online. It's available, but it shows you line by line what we're doing for changes and why. And well, I shouldn't say why, but I do have a PowerPoint that shows you the whys of each and every department all the way through. They're very close to, if not, some are less than last year, like that one there's less than last year. We have another one less than last year, less than last year. So it's $7 less than last year.
Hey, $7 is $7.
There you go. And can't talk. Okay, so I got multiple phones. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do the best I can with the answer. But anyways, we're coming up with different things. Like you asked a question about recreation.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Last year was $33,150 for part-time. We're looking to go $55,000 for a full-time position. Adding more different things into what we're trying to accomplish, getting more ideas for recreation, more things. We put the ad out for the summer rec already because we don't know where it's going to go, but we do know we need to have the names in case it does go forward,
right,
and very quickly. So that's what we did so far. And then, the bottom line here is trying to get to a budget that is still appropriate. Here's some things I think that people might be considering looking at.
What is that right there? What is that?
Which one? Herbicide?
Adult education.
Well, that was last year. You'll see over here there's should be a 0.
Right. Why?
Because that was something that was put, for whatever reason, was put onto the town side for adult education to be paid for, to be in their line item budget, to be paid for through the town of Plainfield, because we get the money from the state of Connecticut. It really should have gone to the Board of Education.
So it's a different line. It's just put elsewhere now.
Right. Appropriately, I believe it would be put into the Board of Education side.
So that's a big to do when it comes to making your budget flat.
Yep, that's one.
109 grand.
Yep. So then the rest of them are things that we'd like to be able to do: Moose Pond herbicide, holiday decorations, a synthetic ice rink. That's kind of a different thing. Where we can actually take a synthetic ice rink, and it comes in little sections so they all link together, but you're actually using regular ice skates to skate on it.
Gotcha.
And we can use that multiple times a year. You don't have to use it wintertime. You could use it summer. So for different events, I want to do fireworks. I like to put some more flags up around the town on the telephone poles that are allowed. Put a video screen up on the police station for events that are happening and meetings, concerns. And also, I want to put video cameras up on our town buildings. We want to have a hazardous waste day, things like that. So those are things in the current budget. Not a lot there, but it does make a difference when you're talking about the full budget. We are going to be planning to put this money, $26,553, for our transportation. We were approved for transportation through the state of Connecticut, had that last step ready to go, and that's when the COVID-19 hit, and we had to pull it back. Is that the state said, look, we're just going to hold off for right now because of what's going on. Well, that's understandable. The rest of it is basically things that we do on a regular basis. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just a budget that really tries to do the best we can for the public, and we're there. We're just about there. So that's what's going to happen tonight. We'll talk about, start the discussion. I'll do the overview with the Board of Finance on Wednesday, step by step.
All right. What about can we get a COVID-19 update from you in Plainfield?
Well, there's a good question. I wish I had better numbers. Our concern really is of hitting the numbers when they come through. I don't see them as always up to date as possible. My concern is for the safety of my residents, and that includes the safety of all those paramedics, fire department, and police, because they interact with the public on a regular basis. And there could be a resident who could have transported up to the hospital, and we find out later on that they were positive. So keeping that information in the loop quicker, to me, would be helpful, because that way, if the crew that worked on that particular individual finds out right away, hey, look, this is a positive test, they can take precautions. They can work on taking precautions. I know that they're taking precautions as it is right now, but I think that they can understand that as you work with people and you come back with a positive, there's a higher chance that you would then be at risk. So I'm just looking for those numbers to be updated in a more timely fashion. And that's been a work in progress and still is to this day. So they're working on getting a better way to share that information with the first responders.
Very good. Very good. Anything else you want to share? I know a lot was about the meeting tonight, so I want to get this posted up as quickly as possible for you.
Sure. We if anybody can get to the link, if you can get to the link and get into that meeting, again, we're going to put you all on mute because we're doing an auto video. We're trying to also, again, first time through. So I'm going to put it up onto our town Facebook page live. Try that as well, and see how that works out. And if we have any problems, we can make adjustments for the next meeting and go from there. But I just ask that everybody be understanding that we're trying some new technology, and technology, as you know, doesn't always work. Like when we tried hooking up just now, it's just our first attempt at the meeting. So it's there. It's something we can use, thank goodness. And we're just going to make sure we do step by step and fix things as we go. Do you like my background, by the way? Can you see my background?
How did you do that?
Hey, I'm playing with the software. It allows you to do that. I'll tell you off air.
I'm thinking to myself, wait, Kevin, are you on vacation?
Did you see what happened when I held the mug up?
No.
I thought that was pretty good.
Awesome.
So now people know where I really am. That's just a fake window.
I honestly was looking at him going,
what is that? Palm trees. Yeah. So yeah, I've been playing with this technology, and little things here and there that I like and play around with. But so far it hasn't been too bad. It's been a quick learning curve for me to play with this. Now I have to show every board and commission chair how they run their meetings and how Zoom works. And if I could, I would have all of the people doing the transcribing be the ones to run the meeting. And then, like you was asking, Mike, if I was to go into the chat and say, Mike, you can have chat on, right?
Yep. Where are my donuts? I'm never going to live that down.
Nope. So people can eventually get to the point where they can ask the questions. If it's our person doing the scribing interrupts and says, "Excuse me, Chair, there's a question from the audience asking about where are my donuts," then you can interact at a certain point. We do have public input to our meetings normally. This is going to be a tough one this time. I'm just having a problem making sure that it all works. So right now, as we're speaking, I'm searching for an American flag. So when we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I can post that up as a picture, and we can do the pledge and then go forward from there.
Very cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate you joining us once again.
And I do want people to know that we're doing the best we can to work with the public. We'd love to all get back to work soon. We'd like everybody to be safe and healthy, though. We want to make sure we do this right. So just bear with us. And if you need someone at the town hall, just give a call. We can always answer you back. And I appreciate your time. And thank you, Mike. That's
Kevin Cunningham, first selectman in the town of Plainfield, obviously from an undisclosed location today.
I'm not going to say where, Mike, but the waves are good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.